Welcome back, friends. And before we get into anything more Counter-Strike related, it's just a quick announcement for those of you out here in the crowd. We had some white noise issues, and they still persist. So since we don't want the players to hear us and what we have to say during the game, once we go into the match, the crowd will no longer hear the casting. Housekeeping, out of the way. You'll have everything else, game audio is the same, but unfortunately, Launders, they won't get to join us. And for all of you freaks in Twitch chat, well, nothing changes.
Yeah, yeah, no, we still got you on the stream, and hopefully there'll be a solution afterwards. But
still actively working on it, but we just don't want to delay anything anymore. We want to get the show back on the road because Launders, we've got 2 more best of 3s to play. This one's in its 3rd map, and therefore almost done. But we find ourselves, funnily enough, where we started with these 2 teams, Heroic and Hard Legion, duking it out on Overpass to decide who goes on to the playoffs tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a big question. I think Hard Legion will do better. Obviously, Heroic are favored in this series as well as this map. They've already proven that they can dumpster Hard Legion on Overpass, so we'll see if they can do it again.
Knife round out of the way. Game set to start, and the GG bet odds currently favoring Heroic. Understandable, seeing as, again, just yesterday we saw these teams open up with a very one-sided score. I don't think it's going to be that lopsided this time because not only have Hard Legion come at a better individual level in this matchup, like you said, they've got a reel, they've got a tape to go back and watch with just yesterday's match.
Yeah, that's the big thing. They have the tape to go back and watch. They also were not as prepared on Vertigo, and so that's, I think, for those reasons, we're going to see a team that's good, that adapts well, that knows how to play Overpass, that has a series in their pocket from yesterday. And I think, there's no reason in my head that means the map shouldn't be any closer. So here we go. We are into Overpass for map 3.
Do it. Krad, Forrester, Speedak, Kinky, and Sviat find themselves on the CT side. Estetag, Borups, down, Snappy, and the beloved Cadian. Lots of utility over towards this B site, looks like it. Smoke, Molotov already thrown out, quadruple flashbang, 3 of which, and now the 4th fly. So T's inside the site already, and Borup needs to clear this close water, which he will. However, Forrester has something to say. With 2 headshots of his own in return, it's the 4 versus 3 to the CT's favor. Now they've got the boost going. Sviat tries to get a bird's eye view, but it's just beneath the wall that the 2 T's creep, and Borup's tucked himself away. There's still short control as well for Snappy, but Borup's gonna have to be that first point of contact, and the flash doesn't quite hit the mark. 4 CTs on Graffiti. They all start pushing in right into the crossfire. Borup with 2 headshots close, pushes it to Sviat. Nothing really much to do with the time so far ticked. It's Heroic with another pistol.
A very nice one. Nice round from Borup, especially 4 kills for him on the pistol. And all from a spot where you're supposed to die first. You maybe get a kill, maybe get 2 if you're great, but 4 from that position is huge. So a nice entry on top of the 3 in the defense in the post plant, and we move on to round 2 with Heroic in the lead. A lot of confidence here. They're going to go in with 3 MAC-10s and a couple of rifles, and Hard Legion will save full up here on this round. Sviat actually has a HE and a flash, so that's a bit of utility to work with. And that digs a bit into his pocket, so we wonder what it's going to be used for. Heavy stack here in the stairs as Tvan starts to creep up. Give up the MAC-10. Could make a lot of money, or could give up a cheap weapon. It's a pretty good trade-off.
Yeah. Great reward, low risk, but ooh, caught swapping still. He gets his gun back in hand, and now the MAC-10 from behind. There's 2 more for Snappy, swapped out with Cadian, and it's a clearing of the connector with a final frag from short.
A lot of money made. Well done for Heroic. So round 3, and I want to know what their money is like on the CT side with this 3rd round because of the money that was spent on utility, down to 1,400. And it looks like they've got just enough. He'll have to compromise on his nades.
No upgrades.
No upgrades, yeah. Speed has a AWP with no armor. So this is going to be kind of rough. I mean, going up against MAC-10s without head armor.
That's a sketchy situation. A CT spawn smoke blocks Monster early. Borup to the window peek. Nice little 2-man setup here from Hard Legion. Again, playing for connector. And making it work. Now they'll crawl back happy with a 5 versus 4.
So they trade for stairs control, and the T's will use that to help them reassess. They're going to now rotate all the way around to A. Cadian still got the bomb outside of Monster, but it looks like most of the Ds are congregating towards bathrooms now. Sean, oh, he actually gets the kill. Kiki's caught off guard, doesn't realize that he's wrapped all the way around.
Damn.
I thought straight back.
Stown was really compromised there because the player in bathrooms definitely heard him come out from connector, but then once Stown got to that half bathroom stairs, he just went silent. And you're presuming, of course, with the player on site seeing him duel the bomb site itself, that he wouldn't go back to check, but very thorough. For the only kill, of course, that Heroic have found in the third round. 35 seconds left to play around with, bomb backing connector.
Not a lot of reasons to move too much at our CTs. This is a pretty good advantage.
But they are shuffling. In fact, it's just Speedak here on A.
I think he has a teammate in CT, right? Yeah.
All right, not far. Not far at all, in fact. Here comes the push, though. He's fully blind. AK close. He's going to succeed, but not a second. Svat will be blocked off by smoke. Could reposition around towards bank, and that's not going to stop your standard plant. Cadian covered. No flank coming in either. They just have to hold off the retake. It's 2 CTs on bank, but these are individualistic peaks. One man does come out and trade because Snappy's on the reload, but now he has to 1v2. Low HP as well for him. Forrester close, and the headshot can't connect. Would have helped. Hard Legion retake for their opening round.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. They pulled that back. They stayed in the lead throughout the entire round, went 1 for 1 on each trade after getting a free 5v4 early on from that stairs boost. So that's good. They also, again, they were in danger. They were going up against MAC-10s, but 3 of them didn't have head armor. 1 of them didn't have any armor. So this is a great way to start the round especially. I mean, this takes the edge off for sure. If it was something like a monster rush, I think that would have worked even better. They know that if Hard Legion were going to buy, that they would have to compromise on head armor for a lot of their players. So they took a risk. It didn't pay off. Now Heroic will go into another buy with much better weapons, so we'll see how this plays out.
Sure enough. Bottom out the bank account. Come in with a big gun round. Kinky doesn't let off the keys. He heads straight through Playground. And because they're going for an elaborate boost, nice wall spam, but it goes both ways. He's got the gap just beneath. Estetag happy that 5v4 presented itself. Costs him 98% of his health, but still a 5v4.
Stairs control, again, really important. Heroic like to spend time here working until they get it. Ston flashing for himself. No opponent on the other side. There's a long setup. We saw how good Heroic's long setups were on the CT side. Hard Legion had some of their own. This is quite similar. This does leave, this strengthens A quite a bit, but it leaves B wide open, right? 3 out of 4 players on the A site, but not only on the A site, very far from CT spawn.
Flashes through Monster. These audio cues are going to start telling Forrester they are getting split on. Non-existent B defense. Bomb easily put down, and Stown basically wins the round by removing Forrester.
That's it. You can't rotate, right? Your middle of the map control guy is dead. They're also now down 2 members. They're also very, very far away from the site. See, like, even if Forrester dies, but they're in CT spawn or in their retake positions on A, they're close enough that they can make an emergency rotate and maybe think about it. But once you're at long in that situation, you're not even considering the thought of going for the retake.
Ooh.
That's a big couple of kills. I mean,
Yeah.
he upgrades to a better gun, takes out 10K in money spent on weapons from Heroic. Heroic are not going to want to waste any more money. It's still early days, but it's 3-1 and another bomb plant.
Sure enough. Keep things close in the opening 5. But Heroic will be happy to come out on top, seeing as they didn't get rid of the MAC-10s previously. MAC-Towns. That's when there's 5 of them.
MAC-Town, baby.
Take you to SmackDown, MAC-Town. But alas, the full buy. Great result. Cadian's put his sweater back on. Interesting to
Maybe they'll
note.
take it off in the second half if they start losing.
Yeah. There's a direct correlation between map wins and the sweater being worn. Analyze that. Quick smoke deep on B. Flubbed Molotov, though. That's meant for Barrels. Barrels could be locked down now. There is a counter-terrorist in position, and he's going to be able to just lock it off with an Eeg. He hits the headshot. Kinky, not good for another. Krad does have ramp, though. He's just going to hold. This slows down the play. The CTs get back into position. He's happy to continue these duels, but Borup's going to punish. A response back from Heroic that leaves them 2v3.
They even had the mid-site smoke that came out late. They tried to fight. They lost their fights, and then they lost the bomb on the site, so they can't actually move up any further safely. The CTs can stand wherever they want. I mean, they could inch out a couple of lucky trades. They know where the fights are going to take place, but they're still outnumbered. And Speed has an op.
What more can Hard Legion really do? I mean, they've got bomb control and a chance to make a play, but look, both teams going for the same.
Yeah,
they want that short control.
There you go. I mean, you know where the fights are going to be, so they can try to take another one. It's 2-1 right now. Cadian, an op duel means he could potentially get a rifle.
He knows he's locked in. He just has to slowly clear this. It's a left eye peek, but Sviat gives his back. And just like that, it's a 1v1. 30 seconds. Cadian gonna flash over and double over towards Monster.
Yeah, he doesn't know where the rotation is in. This is a pure op duel. We're going in for the 1v1. Cadian not wasting any time. Oh, and he goes out too wide. Speedak was in his line of sight, but he just made a read on it and decided that he thought Speedak was taking it from the right side of the site. He wasn't right about it. They came close to bringing that back. That was close for sure. A good 1D, a good couple of kills, but a flubbed Molotov that was very important. As we can see, that the Molotov was meant for barrels. The barrels player gets a kill. Obviously, that's a very important Molotov to hit, and it lands at your feet, so the rush gets discombobulated as people try not to take damage. All sorts of things will go wrong. And it's not a big mistake, it's a small mistake, but it counts for a lot.
Right. In the context of the round, it sets him up. Little short aggression. Hard Legion evacuate before Stown swings door open. We're not everyone here for Heroic with guns, obviously, just the 3 Kriegs. The Deegs coupled with utility instead. Short control foregone by Hard Legion. Monster smoked off, and it's really just Kinky on the forefront, the front line. Except Speedak extends as well, gets his eyes towards Gap, great flash, falls back. Kinky comes in and tries to help him, and they've done a great job. They pincer onto Heroic. And they even stay standing, both of them, 0 trades from that.
Yeah, that's good, and they do a good job of keeping their utility long enough that they can use it after they fight, allowing them a fallback strategy. Speedak, last line of defense on A, can stand here safely knowing his teammate has long. However, it's a depressed angle at long. It's cool. It means he can be wide open at a couple of angles. Depends how he wants to fight this. Looks like he's going to put his eyes on long, but he gets smoked out of position, comes down to the AUG. Kinky gets killed. This opens things up a little bit, but we're down to the wire. They know it's going to be A.
Yeah, they just need to anchor in now. Speedak needs to plant his feet and hit some shots. First one's missed, but he still finds himself alive. He's in the mix, and with 7 seconds left, bombs drop. They've done it. Hard Legion just need to keep themselves in cover, and Stown walks away, tucks tail, and gives up, understandably.
Yeah, you got to trade Speedak there. Obviously, he gets a kill, which is totally unacceptable. Molotov lands exactly where he wanted it to land, but it didn't push him far enough, and then he had a couple of chances. He did, whatever, 60, 70 damage. Wasn't enough. Either way, they were behind the whole round, so it's not surprising that Hard Legion were able to close it out. We're now 3-3. We move into a quarter rifle round. We've got some nades, we've got full armor, but we've got mainly deagles and this SG.
Bit of a mixed bag buy, but the pace is constant. They've thrown themselves through Squeaky Door. Stown's going to be looking to use that Krieg to peel one off of B site. There's 3 targets here to take. Crad just barely out of vision.
Yeah. He's really close to the angle, so, you know, if somebody comes up on him, he's kind of in danger. They make a little bit of noise on the boost. I think they got a bad audio cue. I don't think there was anything there for them to be worried about, but standard practice for them to only wait a few moments. They've cleared out barrels, essentially, so I might have to check for someone crouched, but that's so unlikely.
There's still 3 defenders here, however.
Oh, they're close. They're so close.
One with a molly in hand. Forster, the front line. Crad hasn't put down the Molotov. The teams are already past it. Instant kill off of the Krieg. And the molly's in this weird spot. It like pops on the wall. The Forster's still able to lock it down for 2. Sviat falls back into the water. 40 seconds means options are open. They do not have to go all in.
It looks like they're doing great damage, but everyone spent all their money. It wasn't really a half buy.
True enough.
So winning is definitely priority number 1. I mean, doing a lot of damage is still a loss. We'll switch it up, move over to A. The rotations will start to come up from Hard Legion as they see there's no more clues at B. No signs of life. Speedak should have a couple of easy shots, but he gets tagged through the wall.
Yep.
Oh no, just in the body with the scout.
Yes, sir. And the bomb goes down off of it, playing down to the wire yet again, but successful in a plant. Now a boost, using the bit of teammates that they still have, piece together a cheeky play that has yet to bear any fruit. There's none low-hanging. Hard Legion stays shoulder to shoulder. 2 out from Dumpster, 1 bank. 1 smoke as well if time gets low, but he holds on the cross and he loses his life instantly. EasyTag can fall back and try to pepper these players, but like I said, that's smoke. They could easily just put it on the bomb, stick the defuse, and what the hell's a scout gonna do about it? Deagle tries, and try as he might, it's a 4th for Hard Legion regardless.
Yeah, well earned. Good rifle play, good setups. They inched out the kills. They were safe at B. I like how they grouped up for the explode on the B side as they came through Monster. Netted the first kill, put Forrester in an awkward position, got that one down. Didn't come out ahead in trades naturally, but they took a small risk with it. They had a good idea behind it, and that's still always an option. You know, you can always Virtus Pro Monster and maybe win around. It works at the highest level, but you've just got to get the entries. So it just comes down to aim, how you're feeling in that round, how lucky you get, how much better you are. Triple boost here as they wait for someone to come out of short. I'm not a huge fan of this boost on rifles because you're using so much. You're disabling yourself for so long on these options. These players can't rotate that easily. You've got 1 person watching A, so the T's have a lot of room to work. And if the boost doesn't net you the kill, you're kind of behind. But they give it up early enough, and the T's haven't encroached that far. They are now overtaking bathrooms. There's no way the CTs can move back into a long setup, but at least they've got an idea of what the T's may be doing.
Rattles around over the bow, a warning shot for long. Speedak sits back behind box. 2 more smokes to maybe hit the site and flashbangs to close this distance. Nobody's been softened up by the scouts either, so the Pistolero's job's that much harder. Speedak close though, this op. That's a shotgun, has missed 2 shots, and he's almost overwhelmed, but there's so much cover here with the M4s. They rip flesh from bone. Go home, 5-3, Hard Legion, rock solid hold.
Yeah, really good, and they are already almost up to the quota of rounds that they did in the first game, right? I think the first time they played an overpass, they got like 6 rounds. If that actually, no, there might have been 4. Yeah, it might have been 4 or 5. So yeah, they're already doing much better here on the CT side. That's huge. And you know, both teams get to learn from each other, but I'd say, you know, you give it to the underdog to figure out their mistakes even better.
You were correct, 16-6.
Oh yeah? Oh wow.
Our final score.
Yeah.
Of course, in that game, we did have Hard Legion starting on the offense. And we didn't get much of a CT side at all. 7 rounds, you know, was the second half, so. Uncharted waters at the moment.
This is a very precarious setup on long A as well. It's so dangerous for the fact that you give up bathrooms, but you can be rewarded, you know, by stopping players in their tracks, by catching them off guard. You're just so far from the site. And
although last time we did have like this all-in long setup, Hard Legion, that's when they just gave away the B site through Monster.
Can you see him?
Maybe barely.
He's like turning around.
He's in the shadow, that's for sure, but doesn't expect a peek from the other side. Near collateral, Speedak brings it with 1, and Kinky's forward position is unbeknownst to them. Again, he comes in with another. Now there's a crossfire. Really tough job for Stown to try and get out here.
That's an ace in the hole. You know, you win with a setup like this, you're so far ahead, and you can go back to basics after this. But the crossfire, will it get dismantled? Someone's coming up behind. They can't actually get an angle that easily, we'll see.
He hasn't turned around at all. Kinky has just the cover of the rock.
Technically, he doesn't even know if he's left, so now he begs his teammate to look for information. Kinky gets killed.
And now there's 2. Shot goes off. Speedak, he gets pushed. Stown hits the jump on the first try and creates this huge opening now. They could be able to use this to close the distance, but with 15 seconds, Crad, he needs to lock down the site. There is no smoke to cover cross needed. Borup too far back to do it, so Stown has to go on his own.
Oh, he's not even try?
No, he has to.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. I mean, he had enough time to jump for the plant, but he wasn't going to win the round. He was probably not even going to get the plant off. So that's just a very smart decision from Borup. A lot of players would have crossed
setup.
and just tried it with that smoke.
You know, bathrooms being so open, and you saw the T's get themselves into there, but it was almost like that long setup was such a perfect trap. Like a sinkhole, it pulled them up here. They tried to clear out one player, and they walked into this ridiculous crossfire with 3.
Yeah, and then we saw like how risky it can get once you're out there, because it wasn't easy for the Rock player to fall back. So he just had to stay and hold his ground. He ends up dying, and then things get a little sketchy. But it's those risks you need to take. You have to have variety in your setups. If you play exactly perfectly all the time in optimal positions, well, then all that means is that the T's know exactly where you are, which suddenly reduces your chances in those spots. Yep. So to counteract that, you have to get a little creative, a little out there, and try to maximize the amount of positions you can play on the map. That was one of those rounds, so a really good round from Hard Legion. And they get themselves another eco. Double the rounds here of Heroic here on the CT side, and Heroic are off the pistols with the accompaniment of smokes. So they've actually got some room for strategy to incorporate.
Fine-tuned detail, too. A little bit of praise to Stown. He makes the jump from the bench onto the long flower pots. How many times have you seen somebody fail that?
It's not that hard.
It's not, but I feel like it's one of those ones that like it should be done every time. Pros flub it. Listen, I've seen Simple miss that jump.
Okay.
All right.
That's true. Okay.
But he gives chase to the Opper, clears him. What's Cadian going to do about this? How much can he do before the Pistols have to push in? Nobody gives themselves up.
They used one of their smokes already? Yeah, so they've just got the 3 wide smoke cross. But SpeedX's not going to get smoked out, is he? That's a bank smoke. Yeah, he's pretty wide. Oh, wow. Okay.
Couldn't do that twice if he tried. CT's put down their own smoke in the midst of this, of course. This smoke for the bomb plant was their own. Right. Okay. Big D trying for a second. Can't hit it. Kinky comes into the mix. But these pistols are panning out. I mean, they've closed that distance, and now the flank from Krad has to be everything. He clears out 2 bodies. Borup, 1 HP. And Krad's going to start to close this distance.
Oh, Borup got an op.
Oh, the nade misses the mark. He retreats just enough. And Krad doesn't know where Estetag got off to.
That's a good flash. Oh, that was good protection from his teammate Estetag. Well played. I thought, you know, maybe he actually wins this. That was a really good flash, and he actually baited attention as well, but they couldn't close it out. It's an eco win here for Heroic.
Boom. Bop. That's what happens when ecos happen. Money in the bank.
Yeah. In terms of ecos, with these 2 teams, they've won. Heroic won 2 ecos on Dust 2, and then an eco here. We've got a pause called from Heroic. Snappy's got a game plan to go over. Usually very meticulous with it.
They're getting into that realm where it's like, you know, they're supposed to be picking up more rounds than this.
Yeah, they should be in the lead. Yeah, they should definitely be in the lead.
If they learned anything yesterday,
yeah.
You know, if they walked away with high hopes, even when they walked off stage between the second map, you know, I kind of walked out with them, and as they all passed, all they were saying to each other was overpass and rubbing their hands maniacally. Like they were so stoked to get this map started, but now they find themselves trailing by 2. Get it out of here! Where's that CS? I mean, CS20? Should have been taking the train out.
It's not a great buy actually. There's so much damage done to Hard Legion. They only have 3 rifles. They've got an AWP, 2 rifles, an SMG, and a 5.7. This is a hurt buy for kind of both teams. Like Heroic are also lower on utility. By the end of the round, or as we near the end of the round, they may be closer to out than Hard Legion is. So it's hard to say who is exactly favored. This might come down to speed. If he can get a kill for free. Oh, and it looks like the kill's gonna fall into the hands of Ston. I thought for sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the AWP hits its mark. Loses more than half his health, but still happily walks away from that. Now Forrester plays counterflash. Nobody's watching smoke. Bruh. if Borup walks right through this, there was a timing that he could have just nailed, but obviously it's a massive risk, so he waits. And now that he does come out, instantaneous 2K.
Trust your teammates.
And the bomb site nearly falls. Speedak can't even get another because Borup drops him through the metal wall. He is no more.
That was so nice from... And Borup just trusted his teammate there, just like held on to his fight.
Yeah, right.
As the tag had him watching right. Cleared out completely. That was beautiful. And they did that on the eco where they like grouped up for that monster explode. I think Hard Legion were waiting for that kind of exact play as they come just as the smoke dissipates near the end, the 14-second mark. But this and this time they make it all the way through. Better guns seem to remedy the situation. Borup's also going to go ahead and get another kill. He's got a 4K, a 3K in this game. He's doing really, really well. Bomb will go off, and yep. Oh, just trying to find a gun if possible. It's even just barely survives.
Where's the explosion? That's a blank bomb, man.
Low violence mode.
It's like the worst act of terrorism. It's just nothing.
Yeah. 5-6. And Heroic inch closer. Hard Legion have nothing to spend at all. So it's now the full-on eco. Heroic seem to be back on their feet completely. Two CTs rotating into the site. The Molotov to stop them from crossing. There's not exactly a stack going on. They didn't really have a big plan for this eco, it seems, apart from this push on this short B. There's not going to be any T's waiting for them, no one to fight with. Kiki's got kind of the best gun. Oh, Sviat, sorry, he has an M4 at least, and he gets a kill with it.
Yep.
Oh, that's going to scare you. Now they've got two jobs. Let's try to survive, try to recover that gun. Uh-oh.
Yeah, uh-oh indeed. USP bests the Opper, and there's nobody there to trade it.
Now you tighten up. Your CT don't take long-range fights at all with these pistols.
Oh
wow.
God.
Unless you can abuse a bad spray. Crad gets away with 1 HP. And it's 4-2.
And Speedak's gotten behind them. They don't know where he's at.
Oh, this guy is sneaky.
Down has to keep his head on a swivel, but he does find Speedak. He has no teammate to get him out of this, though. Snappy's over on the bomb site. Oh, Speedak just glides by.
This movement.
And now, at this point, Speedak's going to find bomb. The cherry on top.
Oh, that's a frustrating round to lose.
Big time. Because
Tag's got to hit his spray there.
after the pauses Snappy decided to take, we had 5 consecutive rounds coming out of Hard Legion. Heroic finally looked like they had broken through. They were playing versus an eco this round. This is when the smooth sailing's supposed to tie this matchup.
Yeah. Oh, they handle that perfectly. Yeah, you're gonna be tilted if you're Snappy, wondering how all your teammates died. They had pretty good fights. They could have won, right? They could have S-Tag could have hit. Or sorry, it was S-Tag who opt-2 missed his op shot.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Oh, this is the boost they did on
yeah.
short. I didn't even see. I thought they were just pushing off of it. That's beautiful.
I was watching Radar as if how did they pick him off Monster? Everyone's
Right.
in short.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Nice little boost, perfectly timed. Considering that is the only weapon in the round, and it starts off the dismantling of Heroic, piece by piece, it's a great first one to put down. And we find ourselves immediately back into the gun round.
Oh my God. Just imagine. Gotta give it up to Speedy, man. He knows. He's really kind of crafty with the op in his positioning, how he moves around. He's a hard man to find.
Forrester still tucked in, and so Sviat. He won't wait. He'll pick up his prize. And there's nothing else there to take either. Everyone else for Heroics over here towards this B site. Oh, the fadeaway. At a 5 versus 2, Heroic, they never had footing in this round. This looks like Hard Legion are going to close the half with a strong showing. Good to see that they kind of recuperated. Looked like they were about to fumble it.
Yeah, they brought it back. They lost the eco. They won their own.
Right. And that right there equalizes things.
Yeah, so a total save now. And yeah, Hard Legion will have tons of money next round. They'll have the op they want. They actually have 2 ops for this one, which makes it a hell of a lot harder for Heroic. They've tried, that is, Heroic have tried to do this monster explode a couple of times. Here's a round where it's like a pseudo eco. They tried the same thing. And they get stopped completely by Forrester with that spam. He knows what's coming as soon as he sees the first player in the smoke. They never tried to have that loose lurk. Or they never have to try, like, Whenever they've gone monster, they've gone pretty much all in, 4 or 5 players. Unclear exactly why Heroic want to keep abusing it. They're basically 1 for 3 on that play.
Push after time. No surprise, Snappy ready for it. So 2 weapons. Mohan, move forward. This was nice. Last bullet that comes out, nearly. It's always so rewarding. You know, because you could have shot the first guy and stopped. It's like when you go to the vending machine and 2 things fall out at once.
Yeah, I mean, I don't ever report that. You know, I just take the 2 things.
I went through the drive-thru once, and a lady gave me 2 burgers instead of 1.
2 burgers. You said, "Thank you, lady."
Thank you, ma'am. Best day of my life.
And she was confused. She's like, I'm just doing my job, sir. Back 10 up to try to lead, get some information, do some scouting. No talent in sight. Speed's alone on A. They can get close really easily, so that's a worry. The CT's going to rotate in. Not optimal for them to defend from so far away.
I feel like Heroic, though, almost conditioned since there was that 1 3-man setup on long. They got this far for free last time, and yet there were still defenders extended off the A site. Not the case at all, but they're guessing. Guessing whether or not that's actually the case. Big flurry of utility, blankets the A bomb site, and Kinky's gonna find himself on the other side. May be left out in the cold, but for now, he's told them enough's enough. 2 frags, bomb dropped, and Speedak here to support him. Now Kinky's gonna go through the smoke. Oh, could he even do it? No, the pistol. The pistol gets into the mix. Sviat comes in quick, trades things, and they do maintain bomb site and then some.
Wow, he actually lives too. Ow, round 14, they destroy Kinky between 2 smokes, is able to get the first 2 important kills. They try to dive to get that bomb plant, they can't do it. And then all the CTs come into play. Again, not exactly optimal for the CTs to be kind of all behind the smokes. I think I need a Google Translate, is what I need.
Yeah. Yeah, take the casters away from the crowd and they start making their own noises.
Yeah. Estetag, nice shot. Or, sorry, whoever it was that shot him through the wall, maybe Crad. Maybe Speedy. See the nades off of short. Heroic trade for long control. They've got 2 men up there wrapping around. Can only round out this half with 6 rounds. This is a decider match. Heroic could go home after this map.
Yeah. And I mean, we knew Hard Legion weren't slouches coming into this event. You know, I feel like the general consensus was, again, Avantgarde and Force cement themselves at the top. Who joins them? Based on past results, you would have said Hard Legion because of the major, and Crazy because of the same. But a new Crazy and very real potential. Here we go, big push, shut down. At least on one front, Snappy does extend himself out long, but he's into the scope of the Opper. Speedak calling for help from mid, but Snappy doesn't expose himself. Great self-flash, but still he has to swap to the sidearm. Op doesn't do the job, he still gets it done. 2 versus 3 in the final round of the T side. Nice corner clear from Estetag, and Speedak looks to hold the door, but he loses his head to Borup. Now Krad's gonna have to come in with another clutch to close this half. 20 seconds left, no bomb in their control, and a tag player in the back line, but he takes out a nade, and still he stays alive again! But there it is!
What a shot!
Through the edge of the box, Estetag closes the half. We'll see you back for round 16. only a potential 15 rounds left in what is the final map of the Group A decider matchup. And this first half went exactly the way that Dust 2 did. Heroics start with 2 rounds, and then in the midst of it all, they get not much more going, and then at least finish with a couple Heroics to put them on 6.
Yeah, that gets them somewhere. But yeah, Hard Legion looks sick. They look solid. They are killing it.
But we did see...
Oh, this is coming close. What's going to happen here? Oh, crouches under. Azatag and Cadian combined.
Again, not the first time we've seen in a pistol round Hard Legion almost be ready for a pistol push. But Heroic have now picked up the vast majority of pistol rounds. I believe that's 5 for 6, and even in the one they didn't win, they force bought one the second round.
Right.
So the starts of these halves have been Heroics.
So win or lose, they win.
Exactly. 80% of the time, every time.
Every single time. Black Panther.
There's some footing towards the A site for Krad. He gets himself out, but it seems like there's no one there. He steps out of the doorway, and suddenly he's shot at from everywhere. So now he's in a worrisome situation. But luckily the bomb's not here with him. Estetag holds flank, and he clears it. Now what?
They've got to work. They've got to work a new kill. They don't know where the CTs are holed up. Heroic are playing really passively. They've got like this insanely strong crossfire from the truck to the long corner, plus a roamer and somebody over at B kind of just getting information for free. Krad, he loves this. He's an entry man. He doesn't have a lot of health. Oh, first kill. Doesn't go his way. Borup steals it. 50 HP on him. Will he get taken out at least? No. That's when the crossfire comes into play. Snappy locks it up. And now Heroic are 2 away from tying. I guess the Mouse Sports fans in the crowd are transferable to Heroic.
That's fair.
Transferable.
Yeah. Mouse Sports Light. This is big. Heroic, they gave us a stellar showing on the CT side yesterday here on Overpass. Same opponents, same map. We're questioning the same result. But we know they have resolve. And they're happy to be here. MP9 and a flooded TD cut down at least 2. And further damage then some. Borup drops the bomb and another. A great success in the follow-up after pistol.
Yeah, this would be a tough pill to swallow if Hard Legion just suddenly decide to blow it, but this doesn't tell us much. All this tells us is that Heroic are gearing up for a long game because they're going to make a lot of money on this round and most likely the next. We'll see. Hard Legion didn't spend much. So yeah, they're going to have their buy-in. We're going to have that full rifle coming right up. And Krad, once again, he's pulling 92 ADR in this map. He has been just sick, basically map after map for all the games that I've watched. And I would expect that he continues that impact. But yeah, 1 away now. Could be a defining moment, this first rifle round, to set the tempo.
This is the test. This is the trial. 5 AKs to Hard Legion's side. No real liability other than Snappy's MP9.
Initial deep Molotov. They run through, they take a bit of damage for that. Moving into this quick default setup, quite passive. CTs, aggressive angles, in stairs, they have control. There's a fight happening, or maybe just some spam through with smoke. Snappy's gonna fall back out of it. There's only one man here, Cadian on B by himself with the bomb stationed up near him.
Snappy would be happy to draw players in here, Launders.
I mean, I think the CTs are definitely favored to get a couple of kills here. They outnumber. They get that first one on speed, but the trade comes back in. There's no one else that long, but that's not too bad. Dink out on Kinky. He's gonna have a teammate replace him, and he's got a nice headshot angle, but whoa, nice. Forrester with the 2-piece.
That's huge. Estetag stuck into the corner as well. This was a 4-man setup on A. Estetag seen, spotted, and bagged. But can Cadian bring this back?
That's a fast rotate. He took a risk here by going to stairs. They could have rocked it back into B. So maybe he catches one off guard. Yeah. Plant out in the open. Oh, he can't nail it. Oh my God, the bomb gets planted and he dies.
Oh, that is awkward.
Oh, that's rough.
Shake it off.
He takes the bomb down before it's planted. He can move out of the way. Yeah. 1v1, way harder to win.
Right, 2-bullet tap.
Big chance there, big chance, yeah.
2-bullet tap, he slips himself into the bathrooms and suddenly you don't know where he is.
It's going to happen sometimes. I don't know if he started spinning on the bomb.
I just think
that DPI button started spinning. No?
No.
I couldn't see it from here, but...
I think that's just a good old whiff.
You hate to see it.
I believe Jerry put it best yesterday.
Okay.
Shit happens.
Shit happens. That's right. I need selfies with motivational quotes and scenic backgrounds that I can put into a calendar with Jerry.
Looking to get back on the horse. Cadian. Front line, but Crad comes in from the side.
Oh. Wow. They got caught off there. That's Cadian down, 3 rifles up. It's an investment. Essetag's the only one who compromised.
Big time.
That's big. I like Hard Legion starting out this round fast while the other team's trying to figure out what happened there in that last situation. Ston, natural readjustment here off of long, forward into the bathrooms. Teammate behind him. Presence from the T's on these 2 choke points at A. Slowly starting to wrap across the 50-second mark. And I think that the T's are in a pretty good spot. You never want to lose long control, especially if you know that the T's are going to take it. But we'll see if they can crack the setup wide open. Oh, the only problem, I guess the only problem for Heroic is just low grenades in general.
And there's a lot of pressure on Snappy, a FAMAS to hold back 4 players. Wonder how much help you'll get, because there could be a mid play at the same time. Simultaneous peaks, perhaps. Initial damage is all right. Losing a player in mid's gonna create a bit of a problem. They know there's one pinned on Box, he's down. This is a big one from Sound, but he can't go one further. Maybe Borup can do it all. Finds the first kill, 8 seconds and they're all on display. Cuts it into the 1 versus 1. Speedak commits to the plant and the ops back up, and he nails it. Hard Legion taking the 11th round.
A clutch moment there from Speedak. Really nice shot, really nice play, and a decent hold. Again, they had enough people, but they were low on utility and they didn't have long control. So you still want to kind of give the edge there to the T's, and there was a good attempt at the hold. I mean, it could have gone the other way, but it was like 45%.
Again, I think it's the timing of that one player who's able to slip past Connector. Because the CT and Connector can't hold him back, it's the man inside of Bathrooms down who's got to tuck into the corner and look back and left. Oh. That leaves Snappy alone on site, and the timing just melts away the defense. So they find themselves on USPs. The slip and slide taser attempt didn't work out.
Oh. They're trying to go up with 3?
1 head, 2 boosts.
Go. Well, they got the super angle right now, but yeah, there's no one down there. They seem like pretty sure there's someone hiding. And it is Forrester, but he's just got a different angle. Dinked through the wall. He's scared.
And more damage.
They're low. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Helps when you can do things like that. Now the Molotov's gonna burn 2 to a crisp. They're caught in the hailstorm of gunfire.
Okay. I feel like with the amount of attention there on Short B and the understanding of what they were gonna do, they're pretty lucky to have gotten away with 5, but they do. They write their own history. And Hard Legion starting to get into that critical round territory, 13-14 mark. I think if I was Snappy, I would have called probably a pause after that.
He did.
After that, oh, he calls it now. Yeah, I was thinking like a couple rounds back, when they maybe got shaken up after the Cadian round. Like there, because, you can be a little tilted, you can be a little confused. You don't want your player like Cadian to be like starting off the round of the wrong foot or a little bit distracted about a little flub.
Yeah.
Because it was a small flub on a very important round, so it's kind of something that can linger in your head.
Of course. But
everybody's different. I'm sure he knows his players. Either way, they're out of the pause. They're taking a break, and now it's just time to
buckle down.
Yeah, strap up. Like, there is not a single kid in play. That's rough. They favored grenades. They even went with half armor, and they favored rifles. Most importantly, no ops here to work with for Heroic.
Real
2 Mac 10s for Hard Legion.
Let's see what they've got in store for us. Borup roosting on the B bomb site, not roasting to the Molotovs around him. He regains vision, and he doesn't have to reveal himself yet. He still has an element of surprise. 2 kills, 3 kills from Borup. Shuts down the B site. Speedak misses shots, and Heroic are back on the board.
That was nice. So much invisible damage to kick off the round. All the utility that went into Monster did a ton of work. I love how they bought up into Mac 10s, though. After that, I mean, they called it out. They're like, if these guys buy, they're not going to have much to work with. I think it was a welcome gamble. Now they still have enough money to purchase into this round. And they buy down to 0 with a full buy across the board. So you got to say, Mac-10s in the last round is a really smart decision. Heroic might be thinking there's potential for a save. They're going to wait to see an 8Q if that comes. And we're finally going to have it. The coveted 4-man boost.
Come here.
As we wait for an opportunity. Oh, I don't know if he hits that. But if he does. Oh, man. Hold it, man. Hold it.
Gimme.
Hold on to it, dude.
Meanwhile, Crad plays distraction on the other side of the map. The CTs have pushed up. Kinky's meant to hold them in. And Forrester getting that kill. They might not expect Stown to be here.
I feel like they got a whiff of that boost, but then they tried to walk forward into it.
You know?
But I mean, they know they're walking forward to like 4 people, right? They're in the wrong hood.
There was too little going on everywhere. There had to have been something up, and the CTs try to maximize. Looks like Sviat wants to clear corners. Oh, when they jump in front of him, he tries to spray for more than one, but he can't get into the mix, and Cadian can. Peeks out through Monster, uses the Chaos as a chance to strike, and the damage has been dealt, and then some. Forrester, Sviat, low health.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They're being given a chance to hit the site. Estetag comes in, dropping bomb. This is huge. Sviat with 36 health should get nothing done, and he won't. 10 to 12, Heroic starting to bounce back here.
I'd really like to know, because you have the jump, and I think he might be specifically looking for that boost, because what else can you see? So if they did see it, you know, they kind of went for the long B control, which is good. Monster push is definitely the most risky push on the whole map for the CTs. Almost everything else you do 3 or 4 times a half. Monster, you may never push once and a half. So they did that on a read potentially, but then they went a little bit too far, and it got a bit messy from both sides. You thought for sure, you know, they would be more careful. Sorry, that is, Hard Legion would have been more careful in clearing out the area when they saw one person push, but Ston almost gets 2 kills. Trades are a little bit haphazard, but it's blocks on the board now for Hard Legion.
Yeah. Let's rack up some cash here for
about to be 1 to tie.
Can we talk about Borup for a second?
We can. Let's do it.
24 and 13.
Oh, yeah.
Just tearing it up.
Yeah, I mean, pivotal round where he's standing on top of the sight box at B, he gets that 3-piece.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Gruesome. That's Speedak hiding in the blood splatter of his fallen comrade.
Hopefully he can take the smell, the stank.
Not quite a walk in the park, not quite a pleasant picnic. But he stays at the party nonetheless. Borup goes back down, looking for second servings. He has fallen. Chips away at the HP, putting 3 of the 4 Ts to less than half.
He's playing like reconnaissance, just calling out that he sees somebody in the stairs.
2 bogeys here, over.
Man down, man down. They're going to try to get what they can. I mean, all that was dropped was a Mac-10 or an MP9, so it's a fun gun.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. It's a fun gun, but hey, if they get a bomb plant, I mean, that's pretty big. But yeah, Cadian's got the cross. Bomb will start to get planted and tink out.
Little Glock tap to the face, but like you said, bomb's planted.
That's a win. That's a huge win. I mean, especially with the round so tight. That's right, guys. Give it up.
Sure.
Nice bomb plant.
Heroic seemed content to give it up as well. The setup clearly not trying to contest the front line. So everybody walks away with a smile. See, you can all be winners.
You can all win at the same time. It's true. One of the only games that's possible.
Except half of you are still losing.
That's a fact. 50% of you are done for.
But not by much, Moan. 1 round now separates these teams.
No, it's a close call entirely.
Too close to call. But again, if we can go off of anything yesterday, it's that Heroic's defense was stellar.
Yeah, it was.
So Hard Legion putting up a good defense of their own, that was just a good positive look. They started the job that they failed to finish yesterday.
Yeah, it was the CT setups were so cool from the Heroic. We saw some of that from Hard Legion. They adopted it. They pulled it off. They used, they fought fire with fire. Estetag, a monster here. He knows how to play this spot so well. He's going to let a few T's pass. He doesn't know they pass, but he can also say that based on the nades he saw, it's likely.
Possibility.
Yeah. Just went a bit too wide.
Didn't see that coming in. Another quick headshot. Those are crisp frags. A third one's added to the tally before Cadian can get into the mix. Him and Sound seem like they don't want to back down from this site, but another kill might force them to. That's a lot of pressure on the last CT if he's going to make anything happen.
Wow, Heroic did such a good job. They have like way more than enough money to buy. Following this, Hard Legion bring it back a little bit. This is, this is going to be a very, very long couple of rounds for both of these teams because they're going to have to eat through a ton of money. Everyone saved up a good amount for how crazy it's been, how close the match is.
Yeah. 3 players walk through a smoke in bathrooms.
Yeah.
The possibility of the play is definitely communicated to the bomb site. That's why Snappy pulls his nade out. I don't think the
he just went a bit too wide.
Of the situation, right? Like, you throw whatever grenade you're about to throw into bathrooms, you can throw over the dice box.
Yeah. He just needs to have the confirmation.
You just have to have, right, it's like, now is the time to throw this. And he tries to get that visual confirmation. Instead, wide swinging, not even wide, really.
Yeah, not even that wide.
It's
like Forrester has like half a second to nail a headshot, or Snappy's never going to show his face again. And he does. So a very nice shot. Not even luck, just a really, really sick shot. And a pivotal one at that.
It was confident timing in addition to a clean first kill. And they transition that opening into a closure of the 24th round. So a 2-point gap, 13-11. The 25th underway, minute 30 mark and short controls taken by Hard Legion with the bomb floating outside of B. Nothing shown towards Fountain, and that's where you have Heroic on this extended 4-man setup. A very weak, susceptible B hit. Cadian's gonna have to come in with beautiful frags, and he gets himself at least the first, but he's too exposed. He gets wrapped around on the pillar. And even if these counter-terrorists want to barrel into short, they're smoked off and held by Forrester.
Wow.
That's a B site for nearly free.
Yeah, it's the battle of minds in this round. It's a gamble that Hard Legion took. It's a gamble that Heroic took over stacking A, leaving Cadian alone with the op. It's not completely uncommon. They just didn't think it was going to be any type of fast B. They were wrong. They were completely wrong. And they actually just give up 2 critical kills. They bought up this round, so I was thinking, you know, they could potentially have money to buy next round. They'll probably save these guns and then try that out. It's a little bit hard to calculate.
Yeah, they don't have much
how
round
much money
loss.
they have. Yeah, they don't have much round loss. So they might have wanted to hold on to those 4 rifles. They're going into 14-11.
Woohoo!
That was an unlikely situation. And I mean, what more could Cadian have done, right? He got his kill, and then he was crunched from both sides. So the way that they were set up didn't allow them to have enough information quickly enough that he could have a lasting impact in that round if it was a B hit.
Absolutely.
So that means he needed a teammate, or he needed to play farther back on the site, either in CT to just spot, and then maybe he could have escorted his teammates to come through CT, or his teammates could have taken their time to try to get through stairs. But in the 4v5 situation, they're like, we need to rush this now. Our teammate's dead. We really want to win this round. They just hand 2 kills over and just seal their own fate.
Final pause by Heroic called. They will have no more chances to stew and brew between rounds. And if they give this one up now...
Hey, that guy looks like Daps.
I didn't see. They buy back up around him, Mohan. It's going to leave him with 2 Falmuses, lackluster utility, and negligible missing helmets. Hard Legion in 6th gear.
Interesting. Bomb positioned outside of B once again. 3 CTs over in bathrooms. It's Dawn this time to be by himself on the B site. I mean, he does have Borup on short, so I mean, totally useful to his setup in this situation, but yeah, not much utility to work with. No op in play. It's a little bit scary. I wonder what Hard Legion are planning right now. They're throwing their standard A Molotovs. They're feigning presence with just Crad alone. He clearly seems like he wants to get in and get out. He's made enough presence that he's saying, hopefully, the CTs won't move for a bit. They're hoping a kill is going to land in their palms. And yeah, he's rotating all the way back to B. It looks like they're going back to what worked last round. I don't see why it won't work.
Let's find out. Borup occupied. Doesn't decide to wait. Wants his opening kill, and he's pinned into the corner. Oh man, back turn. Dealing with a ghost of a threat. There's nothing there. It's all in from Hard Legion on Monster. They take this B site. Borup falls back, and he's mollied into the open. Read like a book. Krad's gonna go ahead and try to put this bomb down, and Sound can't get into the site, but he can clear the player off of the barrels, and a grenade! Banked off the short, pushes this onto SpeedAck. If they want 15, he needs the 1v3. Oh, and the first shot's connected, nearly getting himself into a position to take a second, but no, he is down. And Heroic with another round. A very crucial short setup that kind of filters and forces Hard Legion through Monster. And that's, in the end, exactly what Heroic expects.
Yeah, I thought they were going to go all Monster once again and then just deal with short together. They activated the kind of lurk or solo man a little bit sooner than I expected, but Borup is now in this position where, you know, Cadian last round didn't have that kind of help. So it would have been a free split on B if there was no player on short, so Borup plays a key role there, even though he only gets a single kill. And then everybody else contributes good nades. They actually, I didn't even realize they had an HE left because they were so low on grenades moving into the later portion of that round. And even then, Hard Legion made it difficult. They threw good Molotovs, a beta peek. A dink came out. There was a chance there in the clutch, but overall, yeah, Heroic by the skin of their teeth pull it off, and they have much more to work with here. So it once again just gets more interesting.
And the pauses in between each round, adding layers to the tension.
Yeah.
As we get into the final three.
I think if I'm Hard Legion, I'm aiming to take stairs control here for sure, just because of the amount of presence there. There's a solo man in stairs or around stairs. Last round, short B was a problem for them. B worked out really well when they didn't have short control, and I mean, either site works better if you have stairs control. It's the middle of the map officially, I'd say. And there's obviously this fountain area, but to me, it doesn't connect the two sides, only through the spawn.
Cadian fires. If he re-peaks, there are players ready, Op included. Oh man, he is testing fate.
Yeah.
Estetag ready to get into the mix. They can't close this distance just yet. He doesn't look away from the flash, but Spiat, oh no, brings it back into the 4 versus 4. No such thing as real friendly fire. That one's gotta hurt. Now we have Heroic ready to pounce. I mean, Borup, this to me is like when he was playing outside short, he was worried about what was in connector when it's empty. Now he's worried about connector tunnel, and there's nothing there. Hard Legion, linear in their hit towards A. Cadian's gonna feel this heat. He has lost his support. Can he do it on his own? He gets back into cover, and he has the rotation from Stown around Dumpster. 25 seconds.
They could still go B. They have the option to, yeah. I don't know.
You see the wall of utility come barreling in. They are going to try to sink their teeth in, and Cadian bites back with another 15 seconds. Smoke, he sees him. He's gotten into the bank. They've got Spiat behind enemy lines, but still, the bomb's on site. Down to the 1v1. 5 seconds. And Kinky has time. If he wants to go for the plant, he's going to get this in, you'd think. Stown rounds the corner, and he takes another round for Heroic.
Oh my God.
We're not done yet.
Confidently played. My goodness. The amount of situations that cross your mind in those few moments. You're balancing the time with the bomb plant, with the kill, with the other player, with your teammates. You've got to figure it out fast, and they did a good job of that. That was crazy. Important for Cadian, number 1, to stay as long as he did for that first kill, and then number 2, to get the second kill before they crossed onto the site. That was definitely a pivotal moment. Wow, scary territory here for Heroic. I really thought Hard Legion were going to maybe perform the rotate out to B, but it was a good rotate from Ston to just make the right read that, okay, no, it's probably going to be an A hit. So now we're one away to tying up. Hard Legion technically still in the lead. Still enough money to buy an op. And Heroic are actually on 1 UMP. Tac pause called, and they have used these properly. They've thought very carefully about what they want to do.
Hard Legion have used them properly, but in a reserved fashion, right?
Yeah.
One last round, another now, and still 2 left. That's all 4 pauses saved for the last 4 rounds. Contrast that to Heroic, who have none remaining. Obviously making the most of their teammates' stoppage regardless. Round 28. And just like you want, full buys both sides.
Yeah, both sides. Initial Molotov out. Presence outside B. They've seen it work, but they've also seen it fail. They might speed the tempo up.
1 player on defense, yes. B, close. Borup's getting closer to support. Stown's got to do it. 2 Ts start to come in. Molotov on the ramp to try and keep him in. He's just got to tuck head. Oh no, Krad jumps into 2 players and he's blown open. But Forrester's able to swing it. Doesn't know. Stown puts the barrel to the back of his head. And that's going to put us 4v3. Things slow down. Sviat wants to get into the mix, and he finds 2 heads turn, but he can't capitalize entirely. Estetag, still in his own accord, holds down short. Cadian misses a crucial shot, but Speedak still falls. We're looking at 14 all, unless Kinky gets weird right now. And he sees the shadow to start it, but he stops in his tracks. Anybody's match here on map 3.
Oh man, I feel like they've really got to attack stairs, because you see how fast those rotations were in off of short. They threw the 2 HEs in, and then they already had 2 players in the back of the B site. Monster was not as tantalizing as they thought it was. Heroic have done a good job of adapting. And they're actually just playing for OT.
Oh man.
There's not enough money to buy. It's not even that this is a choice. This is basically what they have to do.
Heroic pushing it to the limit. They have let rounds like this slip through. Now, there is no Kevlar. There's not even a single Krieg in the mix. You know, this would be a real stretch. But Hard Legion know their way around a pistol.
Their CTs are really low on information out at A. They have fast rotates to B, but the execute's coming in versus pistols.
Already on site. Big spray down from Stown. 3. All too easy. An anti-eco made to mincemeat. That is 15 for Heroic. Overtime at least, and a 30th round coming at you now.
You versus Heroic and the crowd. That extra energy. No, definitely Hard Legion must be in a dark place. They tasted victory. They were so close. Now they have another rifle round to bring it to OT, and that would be very fitting for a series like this. Both teams winning their map picks, both looking so much better than they did yesterday.
Yep. Blowouts on your map picks into a 30-round decider elimination game. I mean, this is what you hope for. And again, full buys. That save to play for OT. Nets them an op for Speedak. And they're not going to rush the process. Perfection takes time.
This time, Presence out towards Balloons. A slight focus on long. They have been able to shy an opera off of long. This time, Cadian is opting from farther back. This was the patented A setup that worked so well for Heroic. Hard Legion were constantly attacking towards A. And it looks like in this game that there's a stark contrast. Hard Legion have not given long A that much attention. They've gone once or twice. Falling back on this could be a huge risk. And we know just going into bathrooms is not quite enough. But it is just a rifle. Estetag sees nothing.
Yeah.
Might let his guard down a little bit. Kinky's starting to encroach now.
They're just going to kernel the defense. They know that at the 30-second mark with deep short control like this, it's going to have to be the A hit. Hard Legion all in here and now. One final clash, one final gunfight to try and keep them in DreamHack Open Rotterdam. The onslaught starts with Snappy peeling one off, and there you have it. Heroic Wisdom kills to start, and Kinky swings it in. It's all on him. 12 seconds, 12 health, 2 CTs, and he gets one. Bombs in his hand, and he has the safe plant. And Stown has to do it once more. Huge health advantage, and he finishes the game. Heroic into the playoffs. A 30-round map 3 bender. It took time to get here, but they'll be back tomorrow.
Well done. It wasn't easy. It was in front of the home crowd. Hard Legions, you can hold your heads high. That was a really intense performance. I mean, I didn't think it was going to go 3 maps in the first place, but I'm happy to say it did. I'm happy that they got some revenge on Overpass, even though they didn't actually win. They looked so much better. Yeah, this is a big win. This crowd is sick.
Rotterdam. We could tell from Friday, from map 1, the energy out here was brewing. All right, the crowd wants to get hype. They want to turn it up, and a big support here for Heroic as they book themselves into the top 4. Awesome showing for them, considering they just come off of the ESL Pro League games, showed great promise there.
Yeah.
And you thought after Dust 2, like, maybe they don't have that much more of an edge over the side of Hard Legion. And even in Overpass, you don't see that glaring difference. Oh, I need time to reset. So we'll throw this one over to the analysts. They can finally break down this entire best of 3.
Thank you so much, boys. Yeah, to be fair, sometimes Heroic has so little edge, they looked blunt, and yet, Seven, he sharpened up his claws to come through for his team. And Borup as well, really showing what he can do on that last map, Overpass, when it mattered most. But we have to hand it to Hard Legion player. They did not make it easy.
Did not make it easy, and I did mention earlier on when they had Overpass coming in, it's a map that they like picking early, picking first in a best of 3 series most of the times, and the moment I saw that coming to the side of the map, I'm like, that's gonna be kind of close, but not this close. They really gave it their all. Some very huge clutches coming out, especially from Speedak. He had such great rounds, Krad as well. Everyone stepped up, and at CD side, a lot of cool little gimmicky stuff that came out from them, but what I liked was, it wasn't just like a one-off thing. They had so many variations in the way they're approaching the CD side. For Heroic getting tested like that, that was a very, very cool match.
It really was, and the variations, I want to touch a little more on that. Going all the way back to Dust 2, to Vertigo, to this last map on Overpass, on their CT side and on their T side. Hard Legion busted out so many executes, those gimmicky plays on that CT side, pushing towards those playgrounds. A lot of prep, and you can absolutely see that coming out. And I gotta say, Kinky did get a little bit weird in this series.
The thing about Hard Legion that was so impressive was how on every single map they adapted. They learned what Snappy was trying to do. Snappy maybe not varying things up pace-wise as much as he should have, especially in those first 2 maps. To be honest, if they'd known Vertigo better, it could have been a 2-0 to Hard Legion, because it felt like actually they were gaining on Heroic, and Heroic really had to pull something out of the bag to win on Vertigo like they did.
You're absolutely right, and I don't think Heroic came into this series understanding or thinking that Vertigo would be such an MVP pick for them into this veto process, but man, Vertigo really saved Heroic, because having that cushion, having that in their back pocket, it allowed them to win this series.
They did indeed, and if you look at the scorecard over here, I just got to point out, this guy has, time and time again, we speak of stuff, and we're like, he's a star player, he needs to show up, and every single time, this kid shows up time and time again. The consistency coming in from him is some MVP level stuff, and if Heroic do reach the finals, even if they lose the finals, I'm going to be like, this guy has just been pure consistency personified, and I need to give him a special award for that. But one player I need to point out, Borup, right? So if you look at Katie, and if you look at Snappy and all these guys, Borup has kind of been the quiet guy, you know, he's not the in-game leader. You expect him to do a little bit more heavy lifting, so to speak. He had so many clutch rounds coming out in Overpass, even on Vertigo as well. So kudos to Heroic, and I think it's a good game because it tests them. And going forward, they're going to be facing even more tougher competition. They're going to be facing against the likes of an Avantgarde or maybe even a Force, right? So this is the sort of test that a team like this needs when they're on that upward trajectory.
Yeah, it was a fantastic game. It was that, what Mohan put it best, I think, fire and fire, putting fire, placing it versus that fire, and that's exactly what we watched.
Well, I asked to see if we could get Stavin on the line, because I have to ask him a question. Is he ready for us? Brilliant. Stavin, the first thing I need to know is, when you got match point for your team with that 4K and that crowd went wild, what was your reaction?
I don't know, it was amazing, like coming back on that 3rd map. Like we tried it last week in Pro League, and it's just really an amazing feeling, and I love the energy from the crowd here.
Stavin, I have to know, whose call was it on that CT pistol on Overpass to go 5 into connector?
That was actually Snappy. Like,
okay.
we actually stole it from NRG. They ran it once at some tournament, so we stole it from there.
Nice.
When it came down to like the final few rounds of that Overpass game, right? What was going on through the comms? Because obviously you guys are still comparatively, I wouldn't say a new team, but you have Kaden just jumping in, right?
Yeah.
So when it's a scenario like that, it's a knockout game. How do the comms really work there?
I would actually say that like it was really calm. I think like that we actually quite an experienced team, to be honest. So everything was quite calm, and we knew that we had more experience than them. So we just like run the rounds. I don't know. It was not like I don't know. It was fine.
All right, and Caden coming in, right, he is very, very emotional, very passionate. You can see him like yelling out loud whenever you win a very clutch round, for example. Is that something which is an intangible thing, which is something which has really helped the team, apart from his offing, of course?
Yeah, I would say it was ever since we brought Kaden in, it's been like a really good team atmosphere. I really like the guy as an individual as well, like outside the game. And I really love the passion he brings when we play these close games.
And Staven, is it a bit of a relief to have a bit of stability? Because actually, there's been quite a lot of changes, particularly over the last few months for you. And yet, things seem to have worked out for the best.
Yeah, I don't know. Like we had like played with BlameF before. He's obviously in Complexity now. He was a really important player in our team, but I don't know. We had like we lost 16-0 to Gamer League in some online qualifier, and like ever since that match, we won like 20 matches in a row. Like it was insane. I don't know really what happened, but it's just like a great atmosphere on the team, and we just keep going.
Well, Staven, you are a huge part of that. I don't know if we've still got some crowd waiting and watching you outside, but you've had so much support from your fans here in Rotterdam. Have you got anything you'd like to say to them?
I don't know. Thanks for cheering, and I'll hope you cheer just as much as you did today, tomorrow in the semi-final against Force.
Well, we will see you in that semi-final. Congratulations, Staven. Please pass on our best to the rest of Heroic.
Thank you.
Sign me up. I am a Staven fan all the way.
Get me a jersey.
Yeah, get me a jersey ASAP.
Who do we need to talk to? We're ready for you to break down a round on Dust 2 on the I'm renaming it the Broaring Broad with the Broad that I know. Potter, hello.
Hello. So yes, we've been talking about the executes coming out, and actually I'm going to highlight Hard Legion because they were playing fire versus fire, and their executes were so simple but so effective. And this is just going to be a simple A take coming out on this Dust 2. And if you notice, power in numbers and all the utility that's going to be coming out, we're going to see 3 smokes popping here, and the Molotov coming towards Goose, Molotov coming towards this game helper here. And it's just the cohesion with Hard Legion getting into this bomb site, and we spoke about on Dust 2, getting into those post-plant scenarios seemed to be a little bit easier for these teams coming into that A bomb site. And that's exactly what happens here. Hard Legion is down numbers 4 versus 5, but they get into that post-plant scenario, and they actually get into this bomb site a little bit easy because of all that utility backing them up. And this way, they're able to win this round with a little bit of ease, and they're able to win this Dust 2 with a little bit of ease as well.
How much do Heroic need to fix to have a chance in that semi-final against Force? Because Force, they're not going to pull any punches. They're going to be fast and furious.
The interesting thing I've noticed about particularly the Extreme Eaters guys, Hard Legion, of course, Force, is they are notorious for being a little bit loosey-goosey at times, right? They tend to have those tendencies to go in for sometimes some mind-boggling plays, which they shouldn't be doing, really going for, but it works out. What's been interesting in DreamHack Open Rotterdam is the fact that they've been actually very reined in the way they're approaching the game. Much more tactical and much less loosey-goosey than we're used to seeing them. So facing off against Force tomorrow, I don't expect to see Force playing a little too wild, so to speak. We saw, I do believe it was Jerry who said, you got to respect your opponents, and they are definitely going to respect Heroic. So it's going to be much more, we're going to have some wild moments, don't get me wrong, but it is still going to be, I feel, a much more tactical battle, so to speak. A little bit of a difference from how CIS teams have been playing in the past.
It is a little different. The approach that we're seeing coming out of these CIS, the 3 CIS teams that we have in this Open here, all 3 of them have been performing, and these executes coming out specifically on their CT side, the proactive aggression, the cohesion together, taking over the playground, utilizing the Molotovs. I mean, everything that I saw on this overpass match was just beautiful.
Yeah, it was a great performance by both teams and really exciting. But I need to just talk to you guys about the future, because there's something tonight that is going to decide the future of one of the teams on the Finnish scene, I believe. So at the moment, there is a qualifier going on, the Elise Vida CSGO Liga. So some of you might have noticed there is a guy who they're calling the budget sponge, the weatherman. A little bit of a legend himself. There's a clip of him trying to break down a bomb site. I think maybe the A site 5 Inferno on an Etch-a-Sketch. I literally want to be that guy's friend. He's super cool. I wonder if he'll let me borrow his gadget. And that was actually part of this league. And tonight there's going to be a grand final that decides one of the teams that will be fighting it out at DreamHack Winter in Jönköping. Because one of the great things about DreamHack Open is it gives the chance for teams who take part in these open qualifiers from the sort of direct regional area, like Benelux here, where we saw a steering come through, fight maybe a team from the wider region, i.e. the European qualifiers. Like we have, Havu, of course, who came through the European qualifiers. And then we also had the DreamHack Showdown, which is how Besiktas qualified. And they get to go up against the likes of Heroic, who are obviously testing some new things out, and Avangard, who won DreamHack Open Rio earlier in the year. So the great thing about DreamHack Open is it's where we get to see these teams really establish themselves on the Tier 2 and Tier 3 scene. And we get to see the stars of the future. People like Doto, people like Hoodie, who are going to be playing in Havu against Crazy after this break.